Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks so much for joining the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy show. I know Mr. Beatles is in the building. He is connecting as we speak. I'm ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator. Just having a wonderful, wonderful time here. This Saturday just passed, just did a lesson plan for the kids. One thing that I do, one thing I love to do, man, is teach the kids about money. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Find ways to do more of it. Mr. Beals will be connected in just a second, man. We're just getting this show started. As soon as we get in, we just pop in, start talking, and things just start happening. So why not go ahead and just hit that record button, and get it going? So wealthyhealthyhappy.net, man, that's the place you want to go to stay connected to the movement. It's the movement of being wealthy, the movement of being happy, the movement of being healthy each and every day of our lives, man. To live the life that we want to live, to live the phenomenal life, to live the satisfied life, and to be in pursuit of our own personal destiny, our own personal legend. And that's as we're going through the Alchemist here. I think we got probably going to be done with this book by next Friday. That's what I would say. I mean, we could probably press through it and get through it this week, but we want to extract every piece of wisdom that we can from the book. So that's, if it takes a little bit longer, that's fine. We're in no rush. Then we'll start getting on and do some other things or whatever we decide to do next. So if you got any suggestions on what you like for us to do next, maybe there's some book. I know that we talked about Acres of Diamond or Acres of Gold, or if you have any suggestions what you'd like for us to discuss, man. As we move into almost the middle of January, February, beginning of February, got some new content. Obviously, February will probably be the month of love. I might talk about that. But even in this book, man, we come to this place where the Santiago, who is a young boy, young shepherd, he is beginning to
Oh my God, it's about time.
have his thing meet
I
his
don't even know if the
deadline.
people can hear me.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Beatles?
What's up, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are bright and early in the office.
I
Uh,
can't. I can barely. I can barely hear. Like my volume is crazy right now.
I can hear you just fine. You're coming in just fine. You might not be able to hear me very well, but we can hear you just fine.
Uh,
Are you on your laptop?
let me see.
No. Yes. Man, you make me where I had to go throw my suit on. I mean, jeez.
It's crazy. Beta the Alchemist. Sound speaker. Mic check. Mic check.
Mike is coming in fine, man. We can hear you just fine. I don't know if you can, how well you can hear us, but we can
I
hear
hear
you.
you saying you can hear me just fine. I can't. Say something now. Mic check. Mic check.
You are coming in loud and clear, brother.
Man, this is crazy.
Technical difficulties. He's in a new space. He's at the office. Looks like the office today, and you know, um, he's coming in just fine. But I don't know how well he can hear me. But that's okay. We can hear him just fine. So hopefully, uh, this will work out for him this morning.
Hold on. This is weird, man.
Man, oh man.
Like I could, like it sounds like my like I can audibly hear you, but I can't hear. Like I can't hear what you're saying.
Are you reading?
I know you're saying. I know you're saying something.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
All right, guys. So, fantastic, man. So we are going through the Alchemist, and he's in the pursuit of his dream. And Santiago, he is in the pursuit of his dream. Really, just kind of want to start. We're on page 89. We're going to try to get through 100, or maybe close to 100. We're in a long phase of this book here, where there's really no pauses or breaks because basically where Santiago is at this point, he is on his way to the oasis. It's this place called El Fayum. He is in the desert, and now he has reached the oasis. And while he's on his way, he's looking at the desert and saying, "Hey, he realizes that with him and the Englishmen are traveling together on this caravan of people that are going on this journey." And it's interesting you have a caravan because even when you're going on a journey individually, you're still connected to people who are along the journey with you in their own way. And so Santiago is at this place in this desert. He's just kind of the Englishman is just kind of looking back. He's looking at the desert. It's like, man, maybe God created the desert so that man could appreciate the date tree. It's interesting, man, because if you are in that desert place, it's like it's almost as if when you're not in the desert, we really don't appreciate all of the little things that we have going on in our life. And that's called, being gracious, having gratitude. You appreciate all of the small things that are, going on in your life. But when you are at that in that desert, you begin to appreciate those little things that you once took for granted. It's almost like, you love more of what you lost than what you do when you have it. So it's like, hey, when I'm gone, you're gonna love me. When I'm gone, you're gonna remember. When I'm gone, you're gonna appreciate me. Well, even while you have me, even when you have it, even when you have the date trees, even when you have the beautiful weather, even when you have all these great things going on in life, we seem to not appreciate them as much as we do when we no longer have them and then they show up out of nowhere. And so he's in the desert like, man, maybe this is what this desert is about. Because now we're in this desert, we're in this long journey through this dry, barren place. We finally come to a place where there are palm trees or date trees. We finally come to a place where there's civilization. We finally come to a place where there's running water. We finally come to a place where we can join in with our neighbors. We can have family time. We can relax for a little bit. And so it's almost as if, man, don't take those little things for granted that you have going on in your life. Don't take them for granted because you never know when you're going to find yourself in the desert and not have all of those luxuries that you once had. And so he's saying that maybe, he created this, God created this so that man can appreciate
It's muted. It's muted now. Yeah, like I can't even hear you now.
now what? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, my mic is similar to what it always is.
I just went to another blab, and I can hear that blab just fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. So we're having some technical difficulties. Oh, no. You are coming in just fine. I can hear you. You're speaking this is loud. No problem with
I
me
don't know.
hearing you. But you're saying that you can't hear me.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Well, your mic is fine.
He's saying my mic is fine. So all right, so you can hear me just fine. Yeah, like it's just not coming through loud at all on my
Oh, no.
end. So I don't know if we don't have anybody on that can hear.
Yeah, we don't have it. Well, we have someone. We don't know. Khadijah, you just joined. Thanks so much. I'm trying to check our mics here to see if oh no, she left. She left. Hold on. So anyway, man, you know what? We need to. Hey, Khadijah, we're trying to check the mics here, man. Are you able to hear? Uh, are you able to hear me just fine? We're gonna have to make this work, man. Um, we're trying to check to see if the mics are coming in okay, but we don't have anybody here to check, man. So you might want to just share your thoughts on the story, man, and just kind of go from there. Just make it roll, make it rock. You got 10 minutes, man. I know you got to get to
Oh,
work.
all right. So this is the funny thing. Funny thing is,
Ralph is here. Ralph, can you
what's going on, Ralph?
We're trying to check our volume here, man, to make sure. I don't know. Mr. Speaker saying he can't hear me very well. Am I
Hey,
able to?
Ralph, can you hear Evan? Mic check.
So we're doing a mic check. I'm not quite sure if I'm in and out. Oh, really?
He
Okay.
is I and oh, he is in and out.
I'm in and out. Okay. Okay. Different. You're coming in very clear. So I'm having a problem. All right. Well, I'll disconnect and reconnect. Was Mr. Beatles coming in just fine, Rob?
Uh,
He's coming in just fine, Mr. Beatles. Well, I'm gonna hop out and come back.
all right. While we are getting ready, and Evan is checking the audio. What a yeah, he's definitely gonna have to refresh. I had an interesting time this weekend. I joined this New Peaks personal development course, and it was a 3-day course. And unfortunately, I was only able to get to one of the 3 days. Didn't really have an expectation for what this thing was getting ready to be about, but it ended up like completely connecting me again to the Alchemist, and where we are in this journey with Santiago, and so where I realize I am right now is I'm in the desert of my life. I'm in the desert of my business right now, and there's a guy named Daniel Priestley, and Daniel Priestley, he talks about the entrepreneurial journey, which is very much connected to the Alchemist as well. And he talks about a few different stages. The first stage in your startup is the wilderness, and this is where 70% of the people find themselves as entrepreneurs. And so I'm making the connection today between the Alchemist and the journey that they're taking across the desert, and just kind of my personal experience. And then for those that are interested, you can also tune and chime in on maybe where you are in your business. But right now, I find myself in the desert of my business, where the business may be too big to be small, and too small to be big. And what I'm looking for in this time is basically an influx of new fresh ideas, new fresh personnel, new capital, those kind of things. And so I'm having to figure that out. And when I was at the Reignite conference this weekend, it really gave me an opportunity to identify like some of the challenges that I'm having in my business. And where I'm finding the biggest challenges is I'm having some of these energy leaks. And I'm not sure if anybody knows what an energy leak is, but the way that John described it over the weekend, he was the facilitator over the weekend. The way he described this is like you take you take an empty cup and you pour water inside of it, and then what happens in life, we start having these energy leaks, and these energy leaks come in the form of maybe misprioritized items that you have to get done in your business throughout the day. That becomes a poke in your cup, right? So now start thinking about all of the challenges that you have, maybe some of the missteps that you face throughout the day, throughout your week, and how those pokes in your holes in that cup over time start to now leak water. And this leaky cup now becomes this leaky cup now becomes your life, and you have these challenges, very much like Santiago has seen throughout his journey across the desert, and so that's kind of where we find ourselves right now. So the pages that we're working through right now are 86 through 103, and one of the things that really stood out to me about okay, all right, you're coming through on the the click click on the props. But one of the things that really stood out to me was how he says that the I don't know why these things have to be transmitted by word of mouth. He thought it wasn't exactly that they were secrets. God revealed his secrets easily to all of his creatures. God reveals his secrets easily to all his creatures, easily. And I think one of the biggest challenges that I tend to have is sometimes I overcomplicate the communication between myself and the universe. And in this Alchemist, what we're finding is that there's this thing called the soul of the universe, and the soul of the universe is this body, this universal God force that we're all connected to. And when we are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, we can actually communicate with the God force. That's where you get the ideas from. That's where you get the big ideas from. That's the reason why we breathe every single day without struggle. For those that aren't on like life support or things, you get what I'm saying. But the reason why we are connected, the reason why we have the ideas, the reason why we can create is because we are connected to the God force. And when we wake up every day and we have gratitude and we appreciate and we acknowledge that we are connected to something higher than ourselves, then that communication, now we have a dialogue. Now we can have a dialogue with the God force, right? And these secrets that we think are so mysterious are very, very simple principles when we really can open ourselves to understanding what's happening around us. It's like the birds of the air and the fish in the sea and the deer in my backyard. They have no problem sustaining themselves and finding life because it's all around them. The abundance is all around them. Everything that they need is already in existence. It's already in our environment. And again, one of our biggest challenges is that we have the ability to create. We have the beautiful blessing of language, and in our language we can speak things into existence. That's what I believe, right? And if you look around your environment, you would see that all the things that you said out of your mouth, they are existing today. So whether you have an abundance of happiness in your life or whether you're going through extreme turmoil, the reason why that's happening is simply because you're speaking it out of your mouth, not understanding that the reverse can also be true as well. And those are the things that are revealed through the secrets that are available to us throughout the universe. So, Ralph, I haven't seen you on, man. I'm missing my co-host right now. What do you have to say? Have you experienced in your life? Have you experienced this God force, this connection, this thing that I think we all yearn for in our path, in our journey to success, is not only to succeed, not only to be significant, but also to find this higher connection to something other than ourselves. Oh man, it's still low. I don't know. I think it's in your headset. We got Ralph joining this morning. Mic check. Oh, moving fast.
Good morning. Good morning.
Everything is moving fast.
It's an outstanding
Ralph,
day.
Hey.
I love this. I love this topic.
Good morning. What's going on?
About, speaking things into the. You heard me talk about planting seeds carefully.
How's this work?
Hey, we're starting to hear you.
Okay. I think the headset.
There it is. I say before you start speaking it, you have to think. You have to think it. And when you were talking about, reading The Alchemist and how it's relating to your life, here again, I think what we think about, we bring about. When we're, reading some awesome material, books like this, we are focused on that in our life and how that relates to our lives. So it's so important to have that type of material and keep that focus. And you were talking about, I talked about being present, being at peace, being one with God, one with the universe, whatever you're, however you relate. Okay. But yes, being present and listen, because God speaks to us. The universe speaks to us. So just being present and taking time when things get real hectic.
That's right.
To take a deep breath and think about, at this very moment, God has given me air. He's allowing my heart to beat. Whatever it might be. I've got sight. I've got 2 good feet that I can wiggle my toes and walk from place to place. There's so much when you can get yourself present. All this disturbance around you is less of a disturbance. You become happy in times of struggle, and it's easier to go through those challenges because you're totally present, and there's that gratitude, and life is outstanding. Life is good. Just
So I'm fine now. Oh,
yes.
I guess
That's right. That's right.
I wouldn't even know. Sometimes you just don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. So, Ralph, I love what you said. And I think that's why I think I love reading because it's hard to not be present when you're reading or when you're studying for something, because it's like you're trying to get something out of it, hopefully, more than just reading just to read. But we've been reading The Alchemist in order to learn some lessons. And so in that process, it's like, man, when you pick up the book and you start to read the pages, it's hard not to be present in the moment and really take in whatever it is that you are, whatever it is you're reading, to really see, okay, what is the world speaking to me through this book? And so I'm starting to pick that up, like, man, just reading this and seeing the different stages that Santiago is going through, I can relate to so many different stages that I've been through in my life. And that's helping me to not only learn the lessons of my past, but also to remain present in the moment, to see where am I. Like Peter said, like right now he's in the desert. So he recognizes he's not in the wilderness. He recognizes he's in the desert. And I'm like, okay, well, at what stage as it relates to this book am I in? And so it's really helping me to stay present and to really say, hey, am I doing a great job of tapping into? That's the question that keeps coming up for me. And when it comes up, so am I doing a great job? And then when am I at best? When am I, at what points in my life, at what points in my day do I really recognize that I'm tapped in to this soul world? And so that's the meditation that I go through every night before I go to bed. Like, man, when was I locked in? When was I tapped in? When was I recognizing what the universe is telling me? And when was I following, that lead versus, maybe the lead for myself?
Right. And that's man, that's such a, it's a great question, because throughout the day we have these moments of clarity, and it might happen when you're coaching somebody and you're having to give out of your reservoir of inspiration or stuff that you've read, or your resources of your bucket of experience, and you find yourself tapped in there. And there's a lady named Abraham Hicks that we have on our website, and she talks about being on your high flying disc every day, or also being in the vortex. And when you find yourself out of the vortex, which is that special place where you are most present, where you are most connected, when you find yourself there, everything is you feel this sense of wholeness, right? You're imbalanced. But as soon as you step outside of what you know to be true, when you don't speak or walk in your truth, you feel this agitation. You feel a negative that is other than pleasant, and that is the dis-ease that you experience. And the dis-ease is going to tell you if I am out of it, whether I am in or out of alignment or not. And it's a great question to ask ourselves throughout the day. How am I feeling right now? Just kind of checking in with yourself to see if, you're in line with the things that you've journaled and written down for the day, stuff that you want to accomplish. Maybe there's that phone call that you're dreading to make that is causing everything else to kind of be out of balance until you take action on maybe an action item that you have down on your list. So I think that's a huge question to ask ourselves pretty often throughout the day.
About what we think about, we bring about where our focus goes, energy flows. And when we have, we're talking throughout the day, when there's something that is less than pleasant, we can push it off, and we keep telling ourselves a story about how unpleasant this task is. And we keep carrying that weight around with us rather than, like Abraham Hicks and also, Eckhart Tolle, about being in the present. Do what you need to do, pay your bills, and the ones you can't pay, you set aside. Not that you're not going to pay them, but it doesn't do any good to waste that energy to let the holes in your coffee cup or holes in your cup drain you dry. Of energy. Do what you can and move on. Take that task and accomplish it and be in the present. And if you got a task that is something that's going to be needs to be done tomorrow, it's scheduled for tomorrow, and you keep on thinking about it. If you can somehow get yourself out of that and be present in what you're doing and appreciate the beauty that's going on right now, it saves your energy, it saves your mindset, as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things to take away, and one of the things I think for many of us to understand is that we don't always have to be multitasking. We don't always have to be trying to do everything all at one time, all in a day. I mean, you can get so much more done, I believe, accomplished or complete when you focus on just one thing instead of focusing on many things at one time. And I think we've been conditioned to think that I've got to do everything all by myself and I've got to do it all right now, versus, hey, let me just finish this one thing. Even right now, let me just be here right now for 30 minutes. Let me just do this versus do this and all these other things at the same time, which could cause you to lose or cause you to miss something, especially when you're trying to multitask and kind of do everything. And so I think that's something that we have to decide to do, to be present. I mean, we really have to decide to say, hey, right now I'm be present, not just with the things, but even in our communication. I've seen in life that, you can make a phone call to someone, right? And you can tell when they're not present. Like when they're watching TV or when they're washing the dishes or they're cooking or they're taking care of the kids. You're like, hey, maybe right now is a good time for us to talk. You're obviously not engaged. No, I just want to be on the phone. Well, no, I don't want to be on the phone with a person that's not.
Sometimes that happens when you're in person with them as well.
I want to have a conversation.
The person who got the phone out, you got all these other things going on. You're not even present in the moment, not even enjoying the conversation or the company that you have. And that's just, we're programming ourselves to not be present. We're programming ourselves to be distant. We're programming ourselves to do everything other than enjoy the moment.
Yeah. So look, and all right. So from an entrepreneurial standpoint, one of the biggest challenges is, like Michael Gerber says in the E-Myth. The E-Myth he talks about basically the three hats that the entrepreneurial wears, and that's the visionary, the manager, and the technician. And when we are when we're starting out a small business, you have to wear all of those hats. And that becomes the challenge. You have to create the vision for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then you have to manage the person on the inside that has to do the task. And so having the discipline to know that there are 3 people that that are managing your business, and you're right now, until you find a manager, you have to manage yourself. And until you get to a place where you can have somebody do the task, you can hire a technician, and then you manage the technician. And then you hire the manager to manage the technician, and now you become the visionary that can cast the vision into your business. And then ultimately what we're trying to do is we're trying to become board members so that we can hire a CEO to overlook everything while we do the next thing that we're called to do. So again, the challenge is knowing that you are a small business, and in your small business ship, there are a few different tasks that you have to wear. So the challenge is going to be staying focused. Once you give yourself the task,
it's working.
Stay focused on the task until you get it done, and then move on to the next.
Work on your business rather than in your business, man. Well, hey guys. 7:30, right, 30 minutes of a power, man. I'm glad we're able to kind of connect, especially on this Monday morning. Hopefully we continue to go through The Alchemist, man. So much we missed. We're going to still have to continue to go through this book because we haven't even got to the point where he meets his, the love of his life. He haven't really talked about this. He talked about this journey. He said, while you're on your way to your dream, things begin to get more difficult, man. We really got to talk about that tomorrow. On tomorrow's show, man. So, Ralph, man, thanks so much for joining us. How's the book coming along? I knew that I think you were writing a book.
Yes, I'm still working on that. I keep adding to it. The book, I decided to put within it a call to action, like a little mini workbook. So each chapter, rather than just reading something, a call to action. So you, while you're there in that moment, make a commitment to change. We read a lot of books, good books, and we put them down and life goes on, and then we live the life like we always been living. So my goal is to change it. Saturday, I started my first blog, or first blab, Plant Seeds Carefully. And it was, it's different being in your shoes than being as a call in. It's totally different. And I learned to appreciate what you guys, the host of the show, trying to engage with everybody that's hopping in to make them feel a part of it. So it's a different feeling. But yes, my goal is to have the material done in 4 weeks, 4 months, not 4 weeks. I love to, but 4 months, and get it to a script writer, to review, to polish it, and do all that kind of stuff. So.
Looking to see you get that thing complete in 4 months, man.
Very good, man.
Making progress. April, May, something like that. Fantastic.
Hey, it's plant seeds carefully in the summertime. That's when it's time to grow. You got to get the seeds out there and let it grow.
Absolutely, man. Well, thanks so much for stopping in.
That's it.
Hopefully you'll continue to join us on our blabs and on our shows, man. Be a part of what we're doing here. I appreciate it.
Life is outstanding. Thank you for doing it.
Fantastic.
Bye.
Well, guys, this is the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. Thanks so much for tuning in today, man. Going through The Alchemist. I am your host, your certified financial educator, ERGJ. We got Mr. Beatles in the building.
Yes. This is Mr. Beatles, Mr. Wealthy, Healthy, Happy, your financial planner and small business developer. Look, we are going to we're gonna rewind pages 82 through 103, and we are coming back tomorrow. Make sure that you connect to those pages, read up on that, so that we can talk about the alchemist in this journey. We are wealthy, we're healthy, we're happy, and we are out.